Like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Cholani Tulo Wepe.
SABC News, the African perspective.
6 minutes into 1 p.m. in Central African time. That is the soundtrack for The Upsider in You. I don't know where that came from, but it sounds like we need to put that on a t-shirt. The Upsider in You. Yes, sir or ma'am. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate your listening ear. As per, we are back in the house where we belong between 1 p.m. in Central African time and 4 p.m. My name is Mmatsheko Mosito, and I don't run this Airbus all by myself. Okay, Tebogo Lekhuleni is here with me, and we're going to take you on a journey, as we always do, across the African region, and really just looking at all things lifestyle, opinion, passions, okay, that you and I share together. How's it going? I love the haircut.
Thank you very much.
Did you get a new barber? Or is it the same guy?
No, it's the same one. I just didn't twist my hair today like I normally do.
It looks very good.
To look like I belong somewhere.
It looks like you were on a date.
On a date?
Yeah. That's the kind of hairstyle you do when you go on a date.
No. Just keeping it clean. And because we'll be traveling this week as the upside, I was like, let me make sure.
Right.
I get the right the right barber here in Joburg, so that when we travel, we represent Channel Africa with absolute pride.
Oh, I like that.
Absolutely.
That's good.
That's what it is.
Yes.
Here's what's coming up on the show this afternoon. Listen. There's a young man who won a life-changing amount of money, 17 million rand through a lottery.
Oh, yes.
But till this day still has not been paid. He's gone to the platform, he's spoken to the platform where he made the bet. He's tagged the National Lottery. This was in 2022. His numbers hit, all of his numbers on the lottery. Yet till this day he has not been paid. He'll be joining us on the line to tell us a bit more about it and where the situation, the case is today. Is there any progress that's been made ever since? How sad is that? You win a whole 17 million rand and then you don't get paid after 3 years. But we'll find out where's his headspace at the moment and what's being done.
I would age 17 years. Seriously, it's a big deal, but it's going to be quite interesting to just get the details of what is currently happening.
Yeah, we'll find out what's happening there. And then armed land invaders are selling plots for 100 rand in Mbombela, South Africa, in Mpumalanga, in the province of Mpumalanga. And the police are retreating. We'll find out a bit more about this from Joe Emilio. He's a documentary filmmaker, and we just want to know what's happening there, because hey, who's selling land for 100 rand and then the police are not involved or running away? What's happening there?
A whole 100 bucks.
A whole $100. And then on our entrepreneurial corner, we'll be getting into conversation with Olusegun Adeleke, the founder of PAAQ, that's redefining expert knowledge sharing. We'll find out a bit more about that later on the show. You know how in South Africa we have the saying that, hey, man, BMW drivers, and we all know what you're talking about. Either these are BMW drivers who are driving too quickly on the road,
Right.
they don't indicate, they are bullies on the road. I want to know, in the different parts of Africa, who is the BMW driver in your country? Is it also BMW drivers who are harassing people on the road, not obeying the rules, not indicating
Who own the road?
Who own the road? Let us know who owns the road in your country. +27634069126 is the WhatsApp line. Alternatively, comment below on our social media lives at Channel Africa 1 on X. On X and TikTok, and at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube. It's 10 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to the Upside.
Parlez-vous couramment le français? Êtes-vous passionné par la radio? Et êtes-vous qualifié pour travailler en Afrique du Sud? Envoyez-nous votre CV et vos 3 minutes démo en MP3 à @channelafrica.co.za pour avoir une chance de rejoindre la famille Channel Africa. Si vous n'avez pas de réponse après 14 jours, cela signifie que vous n'avez pas été retenu. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802.
The KwaZulu-Natal Convention Bureau, in collaboration with Millvest Advisory and the city of Umhlathuze, bring you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum Africa, or TIFA. As a global platform for local action, the Tourism Investment Forum Africa aims to promote secondary and tertiary cities and regions as attractive investment and tourism hubs. Be part of the movement transforming tourism investment in Africa. Join us for the TIFA 2025 from 27 to 29 August at Tambela Venue, Richards Bay in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa.
The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
This is my decision. This is my decision. I don't think you listen. You listen. I don't think you listen. For me to come out, it must mean I'm a teacher. It must mean I'm not the same. It must mean I'm on your case. For me to come out, it means that I'm not the teacher. I want to show you my world. Give me one break, I need faith. Faith to believe you, faith to receive you. Give me something I'm lacking. I don't need nothing. You are my everything. Only me and you. Only me and you. Only me and you. Only me and you.
It's 15 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Only me and you, Thames. What a way to kickstart our Monday edition of the show. Kickstart the new work week. Hey, celebration to you. It's payday for a lot of people. The 25th. It's the 25th of the month. Happy payday to you. Let us know how you're going to go about spending that salary of yours. Are you paying the bills first, or are you going to pay yourself to reward yourself for the incredible work that you have showcased over the past?
You for the incredible
Yeah,
work.
absolutely. The incredible work that you've done and showcased over the past month. Let us know. +2763 406 9126. Listen, we are going to have our conversation with this young man in South Africa who won the lottery, about 17 million rand. Is it not more than that? I was pretty sure it was more than that. But anyway, he's won millions. But still till this day in 2025, not been paid. He won this in 2022 through a lottery, having selected the different numbers. All the numbers that he chose came out. And he was supposed to have won all those millions. Till this day, he has not won. So we want to find out exactly what the status is right now, and also find out where he's at in terms of his mental state. I would love to hear from him. But it's 16 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. That conversation is coming up next.
Get this.
I be dealing with enemies. Survivor. Me Onigba. Money chaser. Faster than a bullet. Flying like a rocket. Bad man we never rest. King of South and the West. Faster than a car. Mon fait Bamisa. Faster than a Benzo. You below level so. Bad vibes on the ground. Reading my psalm, I'm so biblical. I hate to look at them, them to nigga. They won't say your nigga. They want to do your teacher. Before you are my nigga, oh my nigga. You go there when I no get ginger. Oh my nigga, say you go there when I no get rubber. Cause my mama be praying for me, say make I get it. Oh my baby, say you go there before my suru lady. Waiting be this one like this. Been through many things, many gist. I still find my peace. You do like say me, I know they see. Like say I know they hear. Which kind person be this? Waiting be this one like this. Been through many things, like I hate Genesis. I be dealing with frenemies. Survivor, me Onigba. Money chaser, faster than a bullet. Flying like a rocket. Bad man we never rest. King of South and the West. Faster than a car. Mon fait Bamisa. Faster than a Benzo. You below level so. Bad vibes on the ground. Reading my psalm, I'm so biblical. I hate to look at them, want them to nigga. They won't say your nigga. They want to do your teacher. Before you are my nigga. You go there when I no get ginger. Oh my nigga, say you go there when I no get rubber. Cause my mama be praying for me, say make I get it.
Thank you for tuning in. This is The Upside with Tebogo, Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito until 4 p.m. in Central African Time. Coming through with music by Mobad with Peace, the title of the song. Simple, to the point, peace, okay? That's probably the word of the day. Okay, I take it as the word of the day. A little bit of peace, sprinkle it everywhere where you go, and you'll be just fine. Why are you laughing?
Our first guest does not have peace, Mmatsheko. He hasn't had peace since 2022.
We are manifesting peace on his behalf.
Going forward, yes.
Please. We are manifesting peace on his behalf. But yes, we are talking about a gentleman who won just a little under $1 million. And we're going to just find out what is happening with regards to his winnings. That conversation coming through in a moment.
The KwaZulu-Natal Convention Bureau, in collaboration with Milvest Advisory and the city of Mhlathuze, brings you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum, Africa. By positioning these regions for sustainable growth, TIFA helps drive their economic ambitions while providing access to critical capital, networks, and strategic insights on investments in the trade services sector, such as tourism. Join us for the TIFA 2025 from August 27 to 29 at Tembela Venue, Richards Bay, KZN, South Africa. Be part of the movement transforming tourism and infrastructure in Africa. The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Imagine placing a bet, following every rule and keeping proof of your ticket, only to discover the next day that you had won 17 million rand. Now imagine logging in to celebrate, only to find your winning ticket has vanished. No payout, no accountability, just endless phone calls, shifting blame and silence from the very system that confirmed your win. For the past, so we say 10 months, this has been the reality of Tsepo Bannister, whose dispute with World Sports Bet and the SA Lottery has raised urgent questions about transparency, consumer protection, and fairness in South Africa's gambling industry. If you have proof of a winning ticket, shouldn't you be entitled to your winning? Or at least a fair settlement? Well, he joins us now to tell us exactly what happened in 2022 when he placed the bet and he won. And now 2025 still has not been paid. Tsepo, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to The Upside. Hello, Tsepo. Are you on the line? All right, we appear to have lost our winner. Listen, and those trying to Google Tsepo Bannister, like, you're not going to find like a real person. Okay, obviously.
Oh, you're not?
No, it has to be anonymous, right? Because if people now knew his real name and surname,
Oh, no. Yeah.
how many people would be giving him a call right now to find out, hey, Tsepo, let me try and help you out so that we can share. When they pay you out eventually, you can give me like 100,000 or something.
just a piece in your hand.
Little piece, yeah.
So, I mean, how would you feel if you were just taking a chance, honey, just taking a chance, and then you actually realize you've got $954,000, which would be 18 million South African rand, in your bank account? How would you feel? Feelings, like just
if I
picture the
won,
feeling. Yes.
Oh no, over the moon. Like it would take a lot to calm me down. But we have Tsepo now on the line. Tsepo, how are you doing this afternoon?
Hi, how you doing?
We are fantastic. Listen, take us through the story. Take us through from the day you placed that bet, Tsepo. Walk us through that entire process, placing the bet, realizing that you won, and then what happened afterwards.
Okay, so in the day in question, I bought a OTT voucher. I logged onto my WSB, which is World Sports Betting account, then proceeded to load the voucher, selected the numbers, took a screenshot of the numbers, the bid processed, it said successful, the money was deducted, got a receipt, a digital receipt, went about my day, slept. Then in the AMs, I just checked the numbers using the screenshot because when you check using the website, you need to log on, go onto the profile, check. It's quite a tedious process. So with the screenshot, it's easier. So checked and realized I had matched all 6 numbers. Went onto the account, had difficulty accessing my ticket. Couldn't sleep for the rest of the night. Waited until morning, called in the call center, told them what was happening. The agent checked my profile, gave them my login details, only for them to tell me that they need to escalate it to IT, which would take up to 48 hours. Waited for that 48 hours. It lapsed. It got escalated, I think, 4 times after that.
I have so many questions about the legalities of these platforms, but let's stick to your story because I think that's most important. So, okay, so you check the results, you realize that you've matched all 6 numbers. Do you tell someone? Like, do you remember your first reaction?
It was a surreal feeling. So I thought maybe the ticket not being there, maybe I don't know, it's procedure or something. So I was in a panic. That's why I called in the morning, only for them to tell me that it needs to be escalated. So obviously, I start panicking. I don't know what's happening. I call my sister to tell her, and she's like, "No, let's just give them a chance to do what they need to do."
Tsepo, has the National Gambling Board or the Consumer Protection Bodies, SA Lotteries, have they reached out to you ever since you came out publicly?
Not yet. So what happened is immediately when they started escalating it without a definite time period as to when a resolution would be reached or what the issue is, I reached out to the Gauteng Gambling Board. They told me that it's out of their jurisdiction as it's a national lotteries issue. So the NLC would be the one that's responsible for handling the matter at hand. With WSB, they then told me that since I had referenced the Gauteng Gambling Board and now the NLC, they wouldn't interact with me anymore. They would now directly speak to the regulatory bodies in question. And then the NLC, I've been there, I think 3 times now. I had gotten legal help representation. That also didn't go well. And with the national lotteries, actually Ituba on Twitter, they actually blocked me because I would always repost my story and ask them questions as to what's happening. So I'm blocked by them on Twitter. And quite recently, people that have been reposting and tagging them, they also have been blocked by Ituba on Twitter.
It sounds really fishy, if I could use that term, because why would you just not pay out the earnings? But we actually need to get somebody who understands, the legalities around winning, so we can get a better understanding as to what's happening. Because to wait for years for winnings to reflect in your bank account, it doesn't sound legal at all. But, you speak about how you've just been tossed around, Tsepo, from pillar to post, for so many years. How are you affected by this entire situation from an emotional and mental perspective?
To be quite honest, I think I was in a depression for 2 years because I felt as if I was going crazy, and it was hard fighting a system with no help from the regulatory bodies. In addition, I think with WSB, they reference a timeout server error, which from a consumer standpoint, I would not be responsible for anything technical. And with Ituva, they said that from their end, they didn't have any issues with the system, but none of them have actually produced IT trail or forensic IT report of any manner. With the NLC as well, they said that the last response, because the lady in question who's handling the case doesn't answer calls, doesn't answer emails, she's always at the office. The secretary keeps saying that she'll try to get a hold of her. I don't get a response. With the National Gambling Board as well, I sent them an email. They still haven't responded. So it's quite frustrating.
Tsepo, I'm going to ask you to stay on the line for us, and for those listening in at home right now, and perhaps you can help from a legality point of view and give some advice to Tsepo on what the next steps should be. And if you are representative of any of these other bodies, whether World Sports Bet, whether Ituba, the gambling authorities, please get in touch with us, +27 63406 9126, with some advice for Tsepo on the way forward. It's 30 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
We kick off with football news. Rugby. This time around, the Rugby Championship continues to cement its reputation as one of the most unpredictable tournaments in the world. Similar to round 1 last week, round 2 did not dispense with the shock factor. Argentina pulled off a stunning 29-23 victory over New Zealand in Buenos Aires, their first ever home win against the All Blacks. Earlier, the Springboks had clawed back lost ground against Australia with a morale-boosting 30-22 win. It all means that no team has this inside track after 2 tough rounds played, with 4 more left to go in the Rugby Championship. Boks coach Rassie Erasmus is happy with where the team finds itself ahead of 2 matches away to the All Blacks in early September.
It was a big thing for us to try and win and not let them get a bonus point. And now we've always had to go to New Zealand and beat them there twice if we want to have any chance. So we're back. We have lock points. They're ahead of us in the lock points. But overall, just happy with the win.
Erasmus also says he wants the matches to become tighter affairs and believes the Boks are getting to that point because that is what they will be up against in Auckland and Wellington.
Hopefully, as we go forward, the tighter the matches get, the more use we get to this, like into the past. We tend to struggle when it's this open, free running game, beautiful rugby, but you lose on the scoreboard.
Defending champion Senegal will face 2-time winners Morocco, while surprise package Sudan take on Madagascar as the Total Energies African Nations Championship CHAN Pamoja 2024 enters its semi-final stage. The last 4 lineup was confirmed after a dramatic quarter-final weekend in East Africa that saw all 3 co-hosts, Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda, eliminated despite passionate home backing. The tournament, being staged across Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda, now has a distinctly heavyweight feel, with 2 past champions still in contention alongside 2 of the competition's most compelling underdog stories. Semi-final takes place on Tuesday. Madagascar visits Sudan at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, and Morocco takes on Senegal at the Mandela National Stadium in Kampala in Uganda. The winners will advance to the final on Saturday in what is shaping up to be one of the most memorable editions of CHAN in the competition's history. Former Proteas women's captain Dani van Niekerk has come out of international retirement after 2 years. Van Niekerk left the green and gold in 2023 after being omitted from the squad for the T20 World Cup here at home, having failed a 2-kilometer time trial. In a statement, the 33-year-old apologized for the way in which she turned her back on the national team and said the time away reminded her just how much she missed representing her country. In May this year, Proteas women coach Mandla Mashimbi revealed that he had a chat with the former skipper regarding what she needs to do to even be considered for selection for this year's World Cup. And it seems she might be well on her way there after being invited to take part in their 20-player training camp in Durban starting today. They will then head to India for the 50-over World Cup, which begins on the 30th of September. The final squad for the tournament will be announced in the first week of the next month. Now, tennis news. It's Daniil Medvedev, a devastated player, was knocked out of the US Open after a meltdown sparked by a photographer walking onto court during his first round defeat by Benjamin Bonzi. Medvedev has produced some extraordinary moments at Flushing Meadows over the years, but what happened on the 2021 Champions Way to another humbling defeat was perhaps the most incredible. As the Russian faced match point at 5-4 in the third set, the cameraman walked onto the playing surface between his French opponent Bonzi first and then second serve. Cue battling as the incident and Medvedev's reaction changed the course of the match. Medvedev raged after umpire Greg Allensworth decided Bonzi could have another first serve, wiping and whipping the New York crowd into a frenzy and forcing a delay for 6 minutes and 24 seconds. Bonzi understandably lost focus and boos rained down and could not serve out. Almost 2 hours later, shortly before 1 a.m. local time, he eventually secured a remarkable 6-3, 7-5, 6-7, 5-7, love 6, 6-4 win. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Fikile Lengwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Africa, voici Abedi.
Oui, c'est moi.
Abedi est un passionné de musique dans l'âme. Il a un goût pour toutes sortes de musique et passe ses journées à écouter Channel Africa.
J'aime beaucoup la musique africaine.
Ok. Devinez quoi? Channel Africa veut aider Abedi et les mélomanes du monde entier à découvrir encore plus de musique incroyable. C'est pourquoi Channel Africa appelle les artistes africains à soumettre leur musique. Chers artistes, n'oubliez pas de nous fournir toutes vos informations pertinentes à l'email adresse musique@channelafrica.co.za. Les soumissions sont votre chance d'être entendues, mais elles ne garantissent pas une playlist. Toutes les soumissions seront soigneusement examinées pour voir si elles répondent aux exigences de notre station. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
It's 36 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's find out how the markets are moving now, and we head over to the man with the golden voice, Mr. Thabiso Lekhuleni.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thanks, Tebogo, and good afternoon. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has asserted that the country's national interest will forever remain independent, reflecting the country's constitutional values and national priorities. He was writing in his letter to the nation today after attending the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development in Japan. Ramaphosa says at a time when the country faces potentially high tariffs imposed by the US, participating in such forum is part of measures to reduce dependence on historical markets, secure market access and attract investment. He says South Africa will continue to engage with the partners in both the global north and south. The African Virtual Institute of Accountancy has launched a fully online learning platform endorsed by the South African Institute of Professional Accountants, SAIPA. South Africa's youth unemployment remains alarmingly high at 45.5%, with limited spaces in traditional universities adding to the challenge. Executive at the South African Institute of Professional Accountants, Professor Rashid Small.
The first thing is that we are allowing open access. No minimum criteria as long as you have the ambition to pursue a career in accountancy. Secondly, it's also in terms of affordability. We have broken it down into micro credentials and micro badges, which means you study as you have the money.
The Independent Financial Advisors Forum in South Africa is demanding the withdrawal of the City of Tshwane's medical aid brokerage tender, calling it irregular. The non-profit forum represents mostly medium-sized brokerages. It says that the single tender appointment violates the rights of medical aid members to choose their own brokers. The forum's deputy chairperson, Buti Sigasa.
The Council for Medical Schemes, a regulatory body that regulates the medical aid industry, issued a press statement reaffirming the inherent right of members to appoint a broker of their choice.
A Reuters report shows that Egypt's central bank is likely to cut its key interest rates by 100 basis points on Thursday to support growth as inflation cools. The median forecast shows that the Central Bank of Egypt is likely to lower its overnight deposit rate at 23% and its leading rate to 24% at its 28th August Monetary Policy Committee meeting. Current rates stand at 24% and 25%, respectively. Expectations of a resumption soon in U.S. interest rate cuts bolstered world stocks, with the shares in Asia rising to multi-year highs. However, European shares retreated as some of the enthusiasm following U.S. Federal Reserve Chief Jerome Powell's Jackson Hole speech faded, and investors refocused on the broader economic picture. London markets were closed for a holiday, thinning overall trade volumes in Europe. Financial indicators at this hour. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,533 naira. In Botswana, it's at 13.33. Kenya, 128 shilling 15, and Zambia, 23 kwacha 10. the BRICS countries in Brazil, $1 there will cost you R5.42. Russia, 80 rubles are 36. India, 87 rupees are 34. China, 7 yuan, 16. And in South Africa, the dollar will cost you 17 rand 42 cents. 3 pence a British pound, 85 to the euro. Gold is trading at $363, and platinum $1,351 per ounce. Brent crude oil is at $67.95 a barrel. For any business stories that you would like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg, I'm Tabisolo Hoko.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Annie Kalonji sur Channel Africa.
Nous allons à présent dérouler notre tapis rouge pour accueillir notre personnalité du jour, l'artiste chanteur Sheki Frey, qui est en ligne de Guinée avec nous.
Je suis un artiste guinéen, un créateur, un styliste, et je fais un peu ce qui plaît à mes fans. Voilà, c'est un peu ça. On a beaucoup de genres de trucs à faire, mais bon, pour le moment, on est basé un peu sur le rap.
D'accord. À quelle période de votre vie avez-vous commencé à vous intéresser à la musique, Sheki?
Bon, je crois pas qu'il y ait une période, parce que moi, je suis un mélomane depuis mon petit âge.
Annie Kalonji, tous les dimanches sur Mix Vibration.
The Upside. On the Upside, your voice matters.
Welcome back to The Upside with Tebogo and Mmatsheko. We are in conversation with Tebogo Banista. So we are talking to him about how he had placed a bet a few years ago, actually. And now there is a dispute with World Sports Bet and the SA Lottery because he didn't get his winnings, okay? His winnings that are 18 million in South African rands. And as of August 25th, which is today, 18 million South African rand is approximately equivalent to $954,000 US. So we're talking here a little under $1 million US. It's a lot of money. It's a big sum of money that could really be life changing. So as we speak to Tebogo currently, he has no answers. He's sought legal assistance to no avail. He's reached out, you know, on the various sort of platforms using the resources that he has to the World Sports Bet and SA Lottery, and he's just hasn't gotten any joy. So we're just talking to him about his experience with the situation and where he is at the moment. We are trying to get the World Sports Bet on the line so we can give them a right of reply. Should we not win today, we are going to still attempt to get a right of reply this week and really speak to them about what's happening in their organization. What is this about people not getting their winnings? And, Tebogo has mentioned, as we spoke to him, that he did reach out to them on the social media platforms, which is a public platform where everybody was able to see. And unfortunately, he's now being blocked. Tebogo, welcome back. And thank you so much for staying on the line. Let's talk about Okay, so just give us the details. I think we really would like to establish the details as to what happened when you tried to sort assistance from a legal perspective. You know, did you get an attorney? Tell us the story of how that unfolded and why it reached a block.
With regards to legal representation that I had tried to get, that went south in the sense that they just stopped communicating. The lawyer that was representing me in terms of my case quit without even notifying me. So the contract was terminated. I feel as if they didn't even give me the best legal representation that I possibly could have gotten. And with that as well, I got myself in a fix in the sense that the person that was backing me in terms of getting legal assistance had guaranteed to make sure that I get my winnings with agreement that I give him half of the winnings and he would handle the legal representation. So that didn't work out as well. So with the legal representation, I mean, they didn't even ask World Sports Betting and the NLC and all these other regulatory boards involved as to why my transactional history as well was deleted, with that being against the PAEA Act, or rather the PAEA, which is a Privacy Act. So they deleted all my transactional history without my consent, which is a violation. And the Gauteng Gambling Board, the National Gambling Board, the National Lotteries Commission, even Utuba didn't take them to task regarding that particular instance. And with my winnings as well, they claimed a server timeout error with Utuba, but then later they tried to refund me, but they paid the 50 Rand refund as winnings. So my question is, if you're saying that there was this timeout server error and my ticket didn't reach Utuba and Utuba doesn't also provide their IT forensics, then how are you paying me 50 Rand as winnings? What did I win exactly? So if I didn't play, or rather the ticket, there was an issue, how did I win? What did I win exactly? So nobody's able to give me those answers. And it's as if they're covering for each other, because at the time, Ituba had a contract with World Sports Betting as a third service provider, the same way that you would play the national lottery on a banking app. And to this day, I don't know if it got cancelled as a result of this matter, as them trying to cover, I don't know, it coming back to them, or what the matter is with that.
Sounding dodgy and dodgier as you are sharing the story, Tsepo, and we will definitely need to get right of response from the relevant parties, including World Sports Betting and Ituba, to respond to these claims that you're making. Besides social media, I know that you had mentioned that you tried to seek legal counsel and it didn't really work out. I see that you've also tried to reach out on social media. What response has that brought to the table? Has it brought more awareness to the situation? And are there other media houses also that you have approached or who have approached you to bring your story to light?
When this first happened, I think on social media there wasn't really any interest, or the same interest as now. So now there's a lot of public interest, and I think it's as a result of all the concerns that consumers have in respect of the stories that have been coming about in terms of the gambling industry and the national lotteries. So also I would like to thank everybody that has been reposting on Twitter, because they actually have been making it a public interest story.
Yeah.
There's people that have been sending messages of just support and telling me not to give up and try and continue fighting for it. So besides going to the offices, sending them emails, sending everybody that I could possibly think of emails, I haven't gotten any other sort of resolve as to how to go about this matter.
Tsepo, I really feel for you, and when you mentioned in our first segment of the conversation about falling into depression, anyone could have fallen into depression under these circumstances. But, upon reflection, and if you think about the possibility of this jackpot being honored, 17 million Rand or 18 million Rand in your bank account, how would that have changed your life, that of yours and your family?
Well, I think it's hard to even imagine, because it's access to a lot of opportunities, it's chances to take care of the loved ones, it's just access to better healthcare, better quality in terms of living standards. It's a chance to just do a lot.
Right.
So it's hard thinking about it now, but hopefully when they do honor and come to some sort of resolve, one will be able to experience all the possibilities that could have been.
It's now 10 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African time. We'll wrap up our conversation with Tsepo right after this.
The KwaZulu-Natal Convention Bureau, in collaboration with Millvest Advisory and the city of Mhlathuze, bring you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum Africa. As a global platform for local action, the Tourism Investment Africa aims to promote the secondary and tertiary cities and regions as attractive investment and tourism hubs. Be part of the movement transforming tourism in Africa. Join us for the TIFA 2025 from August 27 to 29 at Tembela Venue, Richards Bay, KZN, South Africa. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the Upside.
Tsepo, just a quick one. Have you approached the NLC, that's the National Lotteries Commission, formally?
Yes, I've even went to their offices. We've had three meetings with the NLC. Also with the NLC, the first person that was handling the case started ignoring emails, and then I asked for a supervisor to handle the case, only to later realize that the supervisor restarted the case, but she was CC'd on every email from the beginning of the case. So she was well aware of the case, but it was restarted again. Then at the end, now, she hasn't been responding. The last text that the email that she sent was that from the feedback that they've gotten, World Sporting Bet said that they don't have records of this. To my response, it was, how do they get to the conclusion that it was a timeout server error if there's no evidence? And rule of thumb dictates that if somebody's saying there's a claim, you need to provide counter evidence that's factual, that's hard proof as to what happened. So they cannot just go off the word of WSB and Ituba without hard concrete evidence of what they're saying the issue was. So till today, she hasn't responded. I would call her office maybe 5 times a day, couldn't get a hold of her. So I know what the issue is is currently.
I'm just getting angrier and angrier, just listening to the story because, man. Tsepo, what do you plan to do going forward? I would imagine there must have been moments where you just felt like giving up, but these are your winnings, and you've got proof that you're the winner. So what do you want to do going forward? What do you think you're going to do?
To be honest, I had given up because of just the sheer emotional and mental toll that this took on me. So with the recent social media buzz regarding the national lotteries, it actually was a random tweet, and I responded to that only for people to take interest and really look into the story. So I think moving forward, the best possible thing for me to do would get legal representation, try and get conversation with them started again in terms of all the regulatory boards in question. Hopefully Itu as well on social media, they will unblock me and give me some sort of response. Because even with that media statement that they had posted on Twitter, people were asking as to what the resolve with this particular matter is. Because they were speaking about the jackpots that were won physically and not just banking apps, but in terms of just the resolve with this, they had no response.
I mean, the highest place to be taking this kind of issue would be a place like the High Court. And with this kind of money that's involved, they would be able to hear your story. But we certainly hope that in light of the media attention now, that the parties that are involved, that includes the National Lotteries Commission, NLC, Ituba, World Sports Bet, we hope that in the next coming days we'll get some responses from them as to what happened back in 2022, and hopefully, Tsepo, this will be resolved and that you will get the winnings that you rightfully have won. But we thank you so much for your time and for sharing your story, and we hope that we'll be able to keep this conversation alive and get to some sort of resolve. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you very much as well for giving me the chance to speak about this.
The voice there of Tsepo Banista. Call him Banista, so you don't go and Google wrong things. 117.4 million rand on World Sports betting platform, playing the lottery. All his numbers came out on that night, and his winning was going to be about 17.4 million. Till this day, he has not receive that money. He's followed up with World Sports Betting. He's followed up with the National Lotteries Commission, to no avail. So if you are able to assist Tsepo, if you're a lawyer, perhaps from these institutions, and would like to respond or reach out to Tsepo, get in touch with us. +27 63 406 9126. Alternatively, drop us a comment below with your handle, or send us a DM on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. 17.4 million rand. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And the emotional toll that it has taken on him over the past couple of years, wanting to quit. But the fact that his story is now being brought to the surface, and more people are retweeting, wanting accountability, we hope that he will get the money or a settlement of kinds. But it can't just be throw it under the rug and let's forget about it. Can't.
Right. No, it cannot. It cannot. Like you said, it's almost 18 million in South African rands, and that's a good piece of fortune. That can really take you places. So, and also it's not about that. It's about the fact that he deserves these earnings. Okay, he's got the proof that he's won the money. And also, I think if you've got nothing to hide, you shouldn't be going around blocking people on Twitter.
Why are they blocking?
If you've got nothing to hide,
a whole institution blocking
do you know
a human being.
So, we definitely are going to try and get answers from the people at the top who are in charge of this particular bet that we're in conversation about, and see what they have to say for themselves. But I don't know how common it is. We should actually do a little bit extra digging. How common is it for people to, put a bet for like, I don't know, 50 rand. For 50 rand or 50 cents, US dollars, whatever the case is, and then just there's huge winnings, and then you never get to see those winnings in your bank account. How common is that? I wonder.
Let us know. Maybe you are one of them. Maybe you didn't win 17 million. Maybe you won 100,000. Maybe you won 25,000 rand.
And you haven't seen it.
And you still haven't seen it because there was something that happened, a technical glitch, a timeout, whatever the case may be.
Well, technical glitch in my bank account. Thank you very much. How's about that?
Let us know. And I hope that the legal representative who will now help him doesn't do the same thing that the other dodgy one did. A whole 50%. I want 50% for helping you. No, man.
No, that's not a lawyer. I don't know what to call that.
No, don't do that. Let's listen to some music before we get the latest news.
Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802.
What keeps you up at night? Darling, always remember you are a diamond light. You are a diamond light, the love of your life. Mare, one would say, one would say, we pay sure. When your whole world was around you, and all the love surround you, thought that they'd always be there. What do you want from me? What do you take from me when all I had was me? Why do you lie to me? Why do you hide from me? Shine your
Music by Botswana's finest in all types of ways. Her name is Mposibina, coming through with Tebo. Trust is what that means. All right. It is 2 p.m. in Central African time. Thank you very much for staying with us on the Upside. Let's check in with the news desk, find out what the latest is.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Top stories this hour. The government of Eswatini challenged in court and Benjamin Netanyahu urged to accept the hostage exchange deal. Good afternoon. I'm Jolani Tulo-Webe. Human rights lawyers and activists have launched a court challenge against the government of Eswatini for accepting a secretive deal with President Donald Trump's administration to accept third countries' deportees from the US, which they claim was unconstitutional. The case was due to be heard at the High Court of Eswatini on Friday, but was postponed until the 25th of September because the government reportedly did not file response papers. In July, the US deported 5 individuals from Vietnam, Jamaica, Laos, Cuba, and Yemen to the Southern African country. All were convicted felons, and Eswatini says it is holding them in solitary confinement until they can be repatriated. Editor of Swaziland News, Zweli Dlamini, says the human rights lawyers may have a strong case.
There is a prospect of success in this case if you look at it in the legal aspects, considering the fact that this agreement was signed secretly. Even cabinet was not involved. In fact, it was the Prime Minister of Eswatini who was collaborating or corresponding with the United States in signing this agreement. So there is a prospect of success. But as you understand, in Eswatini is an absolute monarchy. If the state or if the monarchy has an interest in this matter, we might maybe witness some other delays that seek to undermine the legal process.
Rwanda has rejected accusations that M23 rebels massacred hundreds of people in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo in July, saying there was no credible evidence to support the claims. Reuters news agency first reported on the killings of farmers in Rutsuru territory by M23 rebels, citing findings by the UN Joint Human Rights Office. Additional details about the massacre were reported by the US-based Human Rights Watch and the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. In its report, Human Rights Watch said it documented at least 140 deaths, but the number of victims, which may exceed 300. Rwanda has long denied helping M23 and says its forces act in self-defense. There's still no trace of the one person who went missing over an overcrowded rubber boat after an overcrowded rubber boat overturned in central Mediterranean Sea at the weekend. 3 young sisters aged 9, 11 and 17 drowned in the incident after waves of up to 1.5 meters repeatedly washed over the vessel. About 65 people were rescued, including the sisters' mother and brother, as well as 3 pregnant women and a 7-month-old baby. The rubber boat left from Libya's Zuwara city and started taking an increasing amount of water a few hours later. Libya is a major launching pad for migrants who make treacherous journeys across the Mediterranean, hoping to reach the Italian island of Lampedusa. Many of the survivors suffered severe chemical burns caused by the mixture of seawater and petrol inside the boat and required medical treatment. The United Nations World Food Programme has warned that 500,000 people in Cameroon, including refugees and vulnerable local communities, risk losing vital food assistance in the coming weeks. Children, mothers and school children could lose nutrition support and meals, putting their health and education at risk. WFP representative and country director in Cameroon, Gianluca Ferreira.
A recent report by Norwegian Refugee Council highlighted the fact that Cameroon is the most neglected crisis at the moment in the world because of lack of funding, but also because of lack of media attention. So that is why it's so important. 500,000 people, including refugees from Nigeria and Central African Republic and internally displaced people in Cameroon, are on the verge of losing their food and nutrition assistance in the coming weeks due to severe funding shortfall that WFP is currently facing.
And finally, Israel's Defense Forces Chief of Staff Eyal Zamir has urged Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to accept the hostage exchange deal. The BBC's Yonandi Nell has the story.
According to an Israeli TV channel, the Israeli military chief of staff said his forces had brought about the conditions for a deal. Now it's in Netanyahu's hands. The Hostages Families Forum said it voiced what most Israelis were demanding, a deal to bring home all 50 remaining hostages, 20 of whom are believed to be alive, and end the war. The group is planning another day of mass protest on Tuesday.
Recapping the top story this hour, human rights lawyers and activists have launched a court challenge against the government of Eswatini for making a secretive deal with President Donald Trump's administration to accept third country deportees from the US, which they claim was unconstitutional. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Cholani Tulo Mwebe.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
It is 7 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to the second hour of The Upside on Channel Africa, The African Perspective with Tebogo, Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito, with you all the way to 4 p.m. Central African Times. And we're still broadcasting from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. Happy Monday. Happy payday. Thank you so much for tuning in. Join us on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. I'm still recovering from that Tsepo conversation. And if you are listening in on that and would like to help or contribute, you're more than welcome to send us a WhatsApp, +27 63 406 9126. The conversation we are about to have now, in this hour, is about land being bought for 100 rand in Mbombela, in the province of Mpumalanga, in South Africa. And the police saying, hey, we don't want to be a part of this. What's happening here? What's happening here?
Can you
How
actually
dodgy
imagine?
is that?
That is very dodgy.
The whole situation sounds very dodgy.
It is, but I've got to say that it's going to be a very interesting conversation because we're angling it around, the work of documentary and filmmaker Joe Emilio, who kind of puts this into an expose of sorts, okay? Yep. And he has drawn from, a few people that are kind of involved in this entire situation. And that, I think, is going to give us some very interesting perspective as to the lawlessness around this. Because just to give you indication, 100 rand is literally nothing. That's like giving away the land for a cent. Okay?
In dollars, yes.
For nothing. So it's going to be very interesting to find out how people have now armed themselves and getting into land and invading and stealing plots and selling them for 100 rand. What is he found through his expose? So we're going to be speaking to Joe Emilio, who is a documentary filmmaker and host of Newsflash, to get his perspective as to just some of the information that he's gathered along the way. And I like this angle because then we're going to see he's spoken to different people that are involved in this. So it's going to give us quite a good bird's eye view as to what's happening in Mbombela.
Dodgy, that conversation. Hey, it's coming up next.
Your afternoons just got even better. Fresh and exciting. The Upside, hooking you up with today's news from an African perspective. The KwaZulu-Natal Convention Bureau, in collaboration with Milvest Advisory and the city of Mhlathuze, brings you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum, Africa. By positioning these regions for sustainable growth, TIFA helps drive their economic ambitions while providing access to critical capital, networks, and strategic insights on investments in the trade services sector, such as tourism. Join us for the TIFA 2025 from August 27 to 29 at Tembela Venue, Richards Bay, KZN, South Africa. Be part of the movement transforming tourism and infrastructure in Africa. Mosito and Tebogo Lekhuleni on the upside.
I really like what you done to me. I can't really explain it. I am so
talking like you're ready, can you handle that? Maybe we can settle that. I know you're fiending for my bigger back, ooh. All in your face, all in your face. I'm down to do what you really want to. Champagne with a little fun, yeah. Show me what you really want. Nobody do me as good as you. See my recoil, just like magic. Drive me loco, automatic, so electric. Roboto, oh, you give me such an essence, I can hack it. So spiritual, fresh out the package. Oh, I rap like bandage on you. It's only you for me. You for me. You for me. Oh, I'm into you for me. Give it all to me. Can't nobody compare to you. Already you giving me what I wanna. Nobody fit to they can never ever. Caesar, call you my Caesar. I'm still a diva, but I'm a keeper. It's your ability for stability. It's how you keep me held in captivity. Oh, me like it. You know I'm for it. See my recoil, just like magic. Drive me loco, automatic, so electric. Roboto, oh, you give me such an essence, I can hack it. So spiritual, fresh out the package. Oh, I rap like bandage on you. It's only you for me. You for me. You for me. Oh, I'm into you for me. Give it all to me. Can't nobody compare to you.
Thirteen minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Tiwa Savage there with You For Me. You for me. You were made for me, basically, in a nutshell. Do you believe there's such a thing? You were made for me, made for one person.
I'm conflicted. I have absolutely no opinion because I sit on the fence with that. Because look, you know, when you are true, if you've ever fallen in love, like I'm not talking about infatuation, about somebody's glowing skin. I'm talking really, really just seeing synchronicity, seeing all sorts, like, and like it's difficult to think that there are other people out there for you.
All right. We'll park it there for now. We'll park it there for now. If you'd like to contribute to that conversation, do you believe that you were made for only one person?
Just
+27 63 406 9126. Listen, in Mbombela, which is the capital of Mpumalanga in South Africa, land is being stolen in broad daylight. Armed invaders are carving out roads, selling plots for as little as 100 rand and defying a permanent court order, all while the police watch and retreat. Documentary filmmaker and news flash host Joe Emilio has been sounding the alarm. His latest expose has already drawn thousands of views online, sparking urgent questions about safety, law enforcement, and the future of property rights in South Africa. He joins us now to unpack what's going on the ground in Mpumalanga and why authorities seem unwilling to act and what this means for ordinary South Africans. Joe, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to The Upside.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for having me, and hello to your listeners and viewers.
Joe, let's talk about what drew you to this particular story. Many would not have known about it. Had it not been for your expose, we would have just thought, business as normal, business as usual in Mbombela. What drew you to the story? Who raised the alarm or the red flag for you to start paying attention to it?
Well, yeah, that's an excellent question. The person who raised the alarm wants to remain anonymous, but she reached out she basically emailed me and gave me a whole breakdown of what's going on. She presented video evidence, photos, and all that stuff, and she gave a very clear timeline of how and where this all started. And it's been a land invasion that's been happening for a few months, escalated in the past few months. She was desperate, telling me that, the SAPs are not doing anything. They just walk away. And there's a video that actually went viral online of this land invasion where you see the police. It looks like they're trying to enforce some kind of law and also enforce the court order. But these land invaders just start shouting at them. And something very common when land invasions happen is that they usually have women and children present during these protests and these land invasions. And the cops are very, very wary and cautious to, enforce any kind of aggressive tactics to get the crowd under control, because they don't want to harm the women and children. And you can see in that particular video, a woman walking with her baby on her back, and the police kind of see her and start stepping back. But unfortunately, this also creates frustration for the residents there, especially the owner of the plot of land that is being invaded, because they're supposed to. The SAPs are supposed to enforce the law, but it's every time they try and go, there's a reason why they can't. And we've heard reasons from it's a public liability to there's no real fencing, so we can't enforce the court order, even though you have a court order to enforce, and other reasons such as they just live ammunition from the land invaders was being used against SAPs at one particular point as well. And SAPS just feels ill-equipped to handle the situation. So that's where everything started, and it's been escalating. And until now, the land invasions, I just got word a day ago, actually, over the weekend, they had to bring in the red ants, and the red ants are handling the situation. But the land invaders are there, and they were warning that they will be back. So yeah, it's ongoing as we speak.
Okay, I have some questions, Joe, because I'm just thinking, you speak about law enforcement, you've spoken so widely and openly around the permanent court order that was issued in the year 2021. How are the armed land invaders able to operate and do it so openly despite the permanent court order that was issued several years ago?
Well, again, this speaks to the, one can speculate whether it is just the incompetence of SAPs or maybe the corruption of SAPs. But the fact of the matter is that every time SAPs or POPs come in, they are intimidated for whatever reason and decide to not do anything. That court order, and this speaks to the lack of law enforcement, because that's the crux, that's the heart of the matter right now, is that law enforcement is not being enforced. The law is not being enforced. And what happened at the very beginning is that these shack farmers were allowed to go onto the land. And when I say allowed, like they went under the guise of darkness, most likely. And they just started quietly selling the land for 100 Rand here, 100 Rand there. And once you've got a few shacks, the PI Act kicks in. And then the shack farmers will then increase the price of 100 Rand to thousands of rands. And we've seen, or I was shown ads on Facebook promoting, buy land here, and just continuing the shack farming and stuff. And at some point, when you have a number of people, it becomes very difficult for the SAPS to enforce the law, and that's again why they had to go for that court order. And eventually the shacks were demolished, but the problem is that the land invaders keep coming back. The shack farmers keep coming back, and it's this constant wrestling between law enforcement and the shack farmers. This will go on for weeks, months. It's been going on for years at the moment, until one of them basically get the upper hand. And it's quite worrying that SAPS is not able to control the situation. They should be able to control the situation. But again, I think it speaks to, number one, the corruption in SAPS, but number two, also the incompetence. We all know that SAPS is not very well funded. They don't have a lot of cars. It takes them hours to get to a scene, even in this area. When residents would call, it took them upwards of 4 hours to finally arrive and control the situation. So yeah, it's an example of how the lack of enforcement and funding for SAPS struggle to enforce the law.
21 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time, we'll continue our conversation with Joe Emilio about his Mbombela expose, telling the story of land grabs in Mbombela. Don't go anywhere.
Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter? Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard? Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406 9126, and we will call you back so you could have your say and be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So yeah, that's who I am,
It's not just talk, it's your chance to air your views, share your opinion, engage with the community that values your perspective. Follow us on our social media. Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co.za and get ready to share your views on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Tune in and turn up the volume. This is Channel Africa.
Well, let's continue our conversation with Joe Emilio. He's a documentary filmmaker and news flash host about the Mbombela expose regarding land grab in Mbombela and the police seemingly not able to stop it or just simply retreating, as it were. Joe, let's talk about the silence when it comes to this particular case, because this story was brought to you anonymously through someone who was either affected or knew about the happenings and the situation in Mbombela. But it seems not widely spoken about situation there in Mbombela. Why do you think the silence is so loud at the moment?
Yeah, there seems to be a common trait when it comes to land grabs. Land in South Africa is obviously a very sensitive topic, and there's definitely some avoidance politically. I would venture as far as to say is that some politicians might be involved with inciting land grabs. This was definitely evident in my documentary of the Stolen Ground Tygerberg Raceway and other land invasions that I've heard of. And we've seen examples of this, such as the EFF inciting land invasions. But in terms of the silence, look, it's one can speculate widely as to why no one talks about it. And I think like I said, land is a very sensitive topic for some South Africans, but at the end of the day, one has to report on the truth. And the truth is that one cannot just go onto someone else's private property and just claim ownership of it. And whether or not the property is owned by a private individual or government, you can't just go and just, stick a stake in there and be like, this is my land now. We have laws, we have rules, and those laws and rules need to be adhered to. And we need a law enforcement that's also going to help enforce the law and rules in South Africa. And it seems like that's just gone to the dogs.
And the dogs don't want it. They don't. Joe, but in all seriousness, you talk about the fact that, land being a very sensitive issue, in South Africa. And you're right. I'm very interested to find out how you are angling this issue. How did you sort of give some information and highlight the issue around land? Because the situation in Bombela definitely reflects, the broader issues around land, around property ownership, property rights, law enforcement, across the South African region, not just in Mbombela. So how were you able to kind of give some credit and some knowledge around that in your documentary?
Yes, in the documentary of Tygerberg Raceway, I think the most astounding thing that I found out during that investigation, speaking about land, is that it was actually the people that are on the waiting list that have been in the apartheid era or removed from their land during apartheid. Those are actually the people that are most affected, and I'll tell you why. It seems that more often than not, at least at an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 instance, that the majority of the time when there's a land grab, that land that is being invaded was earmarked for housing for those individuals that are on the waiting list. But the people that invade that land are not on the waiting list. They are either from other parts of the province or other parts of the country, and sometimes outside of the country. But these people that invade are also being duped by the farm or the shack farmers, saying that, no, you can have this land. We'll sell it to you for 100 Rand, 1,000 Rand, 15,000 Rand, and you can live here. You just pay us, and you'll be fine. If you don't pay us, then you're bye-bye, and we'll get someone else. There's a whole syndicate operating that is taking advantage of the poor on many different aspects. And the ones on the waiting list are also being affected by these land grabs. And it is atrocious. And it's actually sickening if you think about it, because the ANC loves to go on the public stage and say, we will give you housing, we will build you housing. And yet they're allowing this kind of syndicate to happen because the PI Act protects these land invaders rather than get rid of them, as it should be. And it allows these syndicates to thrive under this law of the PI Act. And luckily, some political parties are trying to amend it to be able to at least put an end to land invasions in some way. But unfortunately, the process is very slow, and one has to ask how much land is going to be taken unlawfully until we all wake up and say, this is wrong, this shouldn't happen, and we're affecting the very people that we actually want to help.
Yeah.
Joe, let's talk about some of your upcoming projects. I notice here that Stolen Ground 2 and 3 are currently in the pipeline. What story are you hoping to share regarding land invasions nationally at the moment?
Yes, so I'm busy raising funds for the production of Stolen Ground 2 and 3, and those are going to look at Hermanus and Grabouw land invasions. I believe so far from the little bit of research that I've done, those are also very unique stories to tell. One land invasion claims that the reason why they've invaded the land is because of ancestral reasons. The people that have invaded that land say that they deserve that land. It's from their ancestry. That's in Grabouw, and it is also one of the largest land grabs in the Western Cape. And we're talking thousands of people that have moved onto that land. And the one in Hermanus is also a very interesting story. It seems to be quite politically motivated. In the little bit of research that I've done on that. And I think each one has a unique story to tell because, the Tygerberg Raceway was focused on a business. That business was lost over lockdown through that land invasion. And the next two are going to talk about other aspects of land invasions and why they can happen. And in the future, I hope to make more. I hope to make, visit Gauteng and see some land invasions there, maybe in KZN even. But we'll see how the next two do. And hopefully I'll be able to tell the story because I think these stories need to be told South Africans need to hear what's really going on when it comes to property rights and how property rights are being eroded every day in South Africa. And we need to put a stop to it. The more people that know about these stories, the more hopefully the people or the leaders that be will start paying attention and start making some very important changes. Because if these changes aren't made to protect property rights, we're going to lose not just jobs and economic devastation, as was proven in the Tygerberg Raceway story, but investor confidence and again, jobs, which are so scarce right now in South Africa. You're destroying, there's a ripple effect when land invasions happen. And it's not just about, the housing crisis. It's also about a business that was lost. It's all fine and well. For example, in the Tygerberg Raceway story, the raceway was earmarked for housing. That's fine. There would have been a deal where the owner would have maybe moved his raceway to another area. The city would have found another area for him. They could have done the raceway there. And then maybe the raceway or the housing could have happened on the land there. And people, again, waiting on the waiting list would have had housing. But that's not how it played out. And also there's speculation and reports that say that the land anyway wasn't suitable for housing, but that's up to the city to defend. But the point is that when a land invasion happens, it affects more than just poor people. It affects an entire economy, an entire town even, as we've seen in Grabouw and Hermanus. And that's the story that I hope to bring to light.
Absolutely. Joe, thank you so much for your time. If you'd like to support Joe in raising those funds, check out his YouTube platform. That's News Flash with Joe Emilio. Let's get the latest news. It's 31 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest sports with Figile Lingwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
We kick off with football news. The Federation of International Football Associations, FIFA, delivery manager Gineilwe Matibela, who oversees 54 African countries under the governance of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, says she never saw the opportunity coming.
I did not see it coming, to be honest with you. I think I was becoming comfortable where I was at with SAFA, especially with the change that I had seen since I stepped into the office, because I think when they looked at the stats, literally there was over 60% change and development in the number of courses that we had hosted. So I was still looking forward to bringing more changes. So when the opportunity came about, I also thought to myself, because I'm a person that likes to be challenged as well, I thought, why not? Get to see the whole of Africa, get to learn different languages.
Also known by her football name, Maestro, illustrates on the coaching courses facilitated by FIFA and CAF.
Another one was the training of the coach educators to make sure that we keep in line with what is happening internationally, because I can tell you now that we have shifted so much over the years, or actually over the last year, because we got more training from FIFA where there's understanding to say that as a facilitator, you're not instructing to people where you tell them this is how you do it, this is my way or the highway, but we're more facilitating a place where we allow them to learn from each other, which is peer-to-peer learning, and also just to make sure that we do not undermine the experience that the coaches in the classroom already has. So it's just to trigger and provoke and support them to say, let's do it so that you also learn.
On to rugby news. The Springbok coach Rassie Erasmus is stuck with the tried and tested for the Rugby Championship tour to New Zealand. Of the 38 players who were part of the squad for the 2 matches against Australia, 36 players will travel to New Zealand for the 2 test matches against the All Blacks. With wings Kurt Lee Arendse and Edwin van der Merwe injured, Magazole Mapimpi, called up as a late replacement last week, will make the trip down under. The only other player from the squad for the matches against the Wallabies to miss out is utility forward Kubas Vise. He's been placed on standby. The first test against the All Blacks on 6 September will be played at Eden Park in Auckland, where the Springboks have never tasted success before. The second test, a week later, is scheduled for the capital, Wellington. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figile Lungwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. zochitika ndi madaphiri kamlondola wa zochitika pena paliponse.
mabhizinesi osiyanasiyana mdziko la south africa ayamba kukhoma msonkho wa 30% akamagulitsa katundu wawo ku dziko la united states of america. ndipo anotele ndi katswiri wa zachuma mu dziko la malawi dr betha chikadza. boma la south africa masiku apitawo linanena kuti ngati america akani kutsitsa msonkho bomalo lipeza misika ina. mungatifotokozere kuti ndizotheka south africa kupeza misika yomwe ingabweretse ndalama pafupifupi 15 billion US dollars zomwe imapezeka ku misika ya ku america.
tinene kuti izizi zitha kuchitika koma sizingachitike mwa pompopompo chifukwa tikaonetsetsa izi zinthu zokuti inali msika wa dziko la america noni msika wakukhazikika umene dziko la south africa linali likazolowera kale. tsono kuti tingonena kuti dziko la south africa lipezanso msika mwina mwasangasanga kuti lizitumiza katundu wake mwina zisizingachitike pachokuti tikunena apa pa 15 billion dollars ndi ndalama zambiri ndithu.
zochitika ndi madaphiri lolemba mpaka lachisanu pa nthawi ya 7 koloko kufikira 8 koloko madzulo pa Channel Africa.
35 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Let's hand over the mic now to the man with the golden voice, Thabiso Lehuku, for business news.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thanks, Tebogo, and good afternoon. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has asserted that the country's national interest will forever remain independent, reflecting the country's constitutional values and national priorities. He was writing in his letter to the nation today after attending the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development in Japan. Ramaphosa says at a time when the country faces potentially high tariffs imposed by the US, participating in such forums is part of measures to reduce dependence on historical markets, secure market access and attract investment. He says South Africa will continue to engage with the partners in both the global north and south. Retired Interpol ambassador Andy Mashele has cautioned that human trafficking syndicates are using people's desperation for jobs to lure them to all sorts of illegal activities. Mashele said this following South Africa's Department of International Relations and Cooperation warning young women not to fall for unverified foreign job offers. It comes as social media influencers advertise the suspicious employment opportunities on social platforms including TikTok and Instagram, targeting women between the ages of 18 and 22.
The Human Science Research Council reported that in 2023, only 250,000 South Africans were trafficked and 155,000 South Africans are living in modern-day slavery.
The African Virtual Institute of Accountancy has launched a fully online learning platform endorsed by the South African Institute of Professional Accounts, SAIPA. South Africa's youth unemployment remains alarmingly high at 45.5%, with limited spaces in traditional universities adding to the challenge. Executive at the South African Institute of Professional Accountants, Professor Rashid Small.
The first thing is that we are allowing open access. No minimum criteria as long as you have the ambition to pursue a career in accountancy. Secondly, it's also in terms of affordability. We have broken it down into micro credentials and micro badges, which means you study as you have the money.
A Reuters report shows that Egypt's central bank is likely to cut its interest rates by 100 basis points on Thursday to support growth as inflation cools. The median forecast shows that the Central Bank of Egypt is likely to lower its overnight deposit rate to 23% and its lending rate to 24% at its 28th of August Monetary Policy Committee meeting. Current rates stand at 24% and 25% respectively. Oil prices climbed as traders weighed concerns that Russian supply could be disrupted by more US sanctions and Ukrainian attacks targeting energy infrastructure in Russia. Brent crude futures rose at 29 US cents or 0.4% to $68.2, and West Texas Intermediate crude futures gained 36 cents or 0.6% to $64.2. US President Donald Trump warned again on Friday that he would impose sanctions on Russia if there was no progress toward a peaceful settlement in Ukraine in 2 weeks. Indicators at this hour. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,533 naira. In Botswana, it's at 13.33. Kenya, 128 shilling 15. And Zambia, 23 kwacha 10. The BRICS countries in Brazil, the dollar, 5 real 42. Russia, 80 rubles rather, 36. India, 87 rupees, 34. China, 7 yuan, 16. And in South Africa, the dollar will cost you 17 rand 42 cents. $1 is trading at 73 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Gold at $3,363 and platinum, it's at $1,351 per ounce. Brent crude oil is at $67.95 a barrel. For any business stories you would like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg, I'm Tabisolo Hoku.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Africa Update on Channel Africa with Lulu Kabu.
Mozambique's opposition leader Venancio Mondlane has been charged with incitement to terrorism and disobedience. He faces a total of 5 charges. The charges relate to post-election violence that left hundreds of people dead. What punishment is he looking at?
The most severe charges are 2. One is incitement for terrorism, and also is being charged for mobilizing people for terrorism during the protests. These charges are really serious and severe. If he is condemned, is found guilty, he could serve 10 years plus years in jail, meaning that he would be banned from political participation, mainly for the 2028 and 2029 electoral cycle.
The director of CDD, the Center for Democracy and Development, Adriano Novunga.
Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, 12 to 1 p.m. Central African Time. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are Upside.
You know, you don't know.
It's a song about it. Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business. Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business.
Give me love, oh, baby, give me, make her calm down. Give me love, oh, cause I really need it right now. Give me love, oh, baby, give me, make her calm down. Give me love, oh, cause I really need it right now. Put me to work all day, put me to work all night. Nobody can do it better, make me feel alright. Anything you wanna do, I'm down with you. Anytime, any day, I go show face, cause you're sweeter than honey. Baby, you deserve a trophy. This kind of thing go make me marry you, long as you no treat me corny. Give me love, oh, give me love, oh, give me love. Give me love, oh, give me love, oh, give me love. Give me love, oh, baby, give me, make her calm down. Give me love, oh, cause I really need it right now. Give me love, oh, baby, give me, make her calm down. Give me love, oh, cause I really need it right now.
Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business. Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business. Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up,
you let me love you. And when you fall in, say na me go catch you. I know your friends don't want me around you. They know nothing, they don't understand you. My baby now make banana multi elevate. And when she there with me, I concentrate. That's why I tell them mother got to wait.
Baby, one yo. Waiting you giving no money can buy. Even if una jara, I go throw away. Baby, one yo. Waiting you giving no money can buy. Even if una jara, I go throw away. Give me love, baby, give me make her calm down. Give me love, cause I really need it right now. Give me love, baby, give me make her calm down. Give me love, cause I really need it right now.
Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business. Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business. Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business. Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business.
It is 45 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. All the way from Nigeria, Say Shay is the artist, and the name of that song was Give Me Love featuring Run Town. It is now 46 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time, which means it is time for What Caught Your Eye. Would you like to start, Madam Mmatsheko, and share with us what caught your eye this afternoon?
Maybe let me start because I've mine is a kind of good news, I guess. Yeah, could be good news depending on where you lie. Maybe you lie between faith or skepticism, or somewhere in between. Okay, so there's a gentleman in Ghana by the name of Ibo Noah, okay? And he's embarked on a very interesting project because Spirit or God has told him to embark on this project, okay? So he's on a mission that mirrors a biblical story, the story of Noah's Ark, and he claims that there is a divine instruction that has come through that told him, the voice of God basically told him to start constructing a massive wooden ark, kind of like the one we see in the biblical story of Noah's Ark, okay? And he asserts that God has revealed an impending global destruction that is going to be happening. So it is set, okay, for the 25th of December in the year 2025. His promise, Ibo Noah's promise, is to preserve 2 of every species, much like Noah of ancient scripture. So that's the instruction. Build the ark and then save God's species in your ark, okay? And there's a video. So if you all you've got to do actually is just go on Google and type Ibo Noah, Ibo Noah, and you'll be able to see a viral video that's just circulating online of Ibo Noah standing before this skeletal structure. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a gorgeous project, just by the way, of the structure of this ark that he's building. And he's urging his viewers in this video to repent and prepare for this big, prophesized event, if we could call it that. And his words are both a warning and a call to faith. So I think this is, I don't know whether to call it noble or sweet or, I mean, this is a guy I would love to get on the upside so he can tell us, what the voice of God told him. Give us the step-by-step instruction. We need to know.
We need to have him on the show. We need to have him on the show because he was very specific there. On the 25th of December.
25th of December,
global destruction.
2025. Global destruction is what's going to happen. But also, just kind of like seeing some of the commentary on the video, there's been mixed reactions. You know, some people are in support of the Ark and saving God's wonderful species and the planet, and others are like, sir, do you want to maybe grab a beer, huh? Just take a seat and just relax. Nothing of the sort is going to be happening.
I wonder if the marine life will enter obviously probably not the boat, the Ark.
Well, he could maybe start, sorry, the agriculture in me is coming out. He could start building ponds in there, you know, and facilitating some kind of aquaponics project within the Ark.
So
you just never know.
So the Ark must accommodate two blue whales.
Oh, I didn't think about it. I was thinking about it.
It's 10 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African time. Let's take a quick breather. When we get back, we unpack that, and then I'll share what caught my eye.
9 to 12 midday Central African time. On the move with Palisa Tau and Benjamin Mushata.
Should influencers be expected to be impactful in society? If there is a social or societal conversation that goes up, should we be waiting eagerly to hear what the influencers have to say?
They are more than just entertainers. They are thought leaders to some certain degree. They influence culture. They influence people's thought processes. They set trends. They shape opinions of people. And the sad reality is, although a lot of them don't want to accept it, I think we're getting better with them realizing that embarking in that journey and in that space comes with a certain level of responsibility.
I see it differently in that, professionals are already good at their job, but there is an optionality that they might have to use the position that they hold in society to be able to deliver a message. This year you made the example of actors and actresses. So the same could apply to a sportsman. Just because someone's good at soccer doesn't mean that they have to have an influence over society from a specific standpoint.
Keeping you on the know and on the move. No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you.
All right, let's continue with what caught your eye. Mmatsheko was sharing her Noah's story. Wait, his name is Ibu Noah?
Ibo Noah, yes.
That's his actual name, or name because he's building an ark now?
I asked myself the same question.
We need to have him on the show to tell us a bit more. I mean, listen, in biblical times, you sort of had people laughing when Noah said, there's going to be a flood, and people were laughing.
Kind of like what we are doing right now.
Now. And then it actually happened. But he's very specific about the dates, which I'm like, yeah, but all the best to him if he's building an ark right now. If it doesn't happen that the world ends on the 25th of December 2025, I mean, you can make it a nice lodge or something, Noah's Lodge. Here's what caught my eye.
Tell us.
Social media influencers using their platforms to promote overseas opportunities. And people raising a flag to that, saying these overseas opportunities are very sketchy, very dodgy, and in actual fact could be disguised as human trafficking. Now, in July 2025, South African influencer and DJ Cyan Bougie traveled to Russia as part of the influencer campaign promoting the Alabuga Start program. She presented it as a paid opportunity offering young women international work, language training, higher salaries, and supportive accommodations. The promotion targeted unemployed women, especially those aged 18 to 22, and portrayed the opportunity as a glamorous and career-building one. The red flags that were raised on social media by the public and media houses were that the reports revealed that the program recruited women from several African nations under the guise of work or work to study opportunities, but many ended up in the Tatarstan factory, reportedly forced to assemble drones or weaponry, often without realizing this beforehand. Once there, participants faced serious labor violations, confiscated passports, confined living, long hours, low pay, strict surveillance, restricted communication with family or the media, and hazardous working conditions. The department And that is the certain authorities, including the South Africa's Justice, Crime Prevention and Security Cluster, launched an official investigation into the program and the responsibility of influencers like the Cyan Bougies and the Seamas of the world. The Department of International Relations and Cooperation, DIRCO, spokesperson Clayson Moniela, warned the public that human trafficking syndicates often disguise coercive job offers, especially those promoted on social media, and is urging young people, particularly girls, to verify offers through official sources and avoid acting on influencer promotions without confirmation. Ever since then, Cyan Bougie has removed the content where she was promoting the job opportunities. And it's very sad that now we can't even trust our influencers when they're sharing such opportunities that look amazing. High unemployment rate in Africa, especially in South Africa. You see such an opportunity, you see a face that you're familiar with, you want to believe it, only to find out that it is disguised as potentially human trafficking and harsh working conditions. Have you fallen victim to them? Let us know on our social media platform. Share your story. Or perhaps you almost got caught, almost fell victim to it. Let us know. +27 63 406 9126. I see here our producer is also just letting me know that it was not just Cyan Bougie who was sending these work opportunities abroad. Sima, as well as Siam Tanda. These are all South African content creators. So where to now? Who can we trust? These syndicates are now working with influencers. That's problematic, isn't it?
It is problematic. And, also when there's a check involved, it becomes really difficult, doesn't it? Because, but also I think it's a call for influencers to also just be responsible with their followings, to be responsible with their platforms. And I think a bigger question then becomes who should be raising awareness about how critical these scams are, or at least raising awareness about the scams online and making it a critical matter as we speak, because it's just wildfires. The internet has become hunting ground where these scammers are going online and luring young girls with opportunities, and there's promises of travel and opportunity and financial freedom, all the things that they know a young girl would want, and they're very specific about the age that they're looking for, which should be raising alarms. So I think for families, for communities, authorities, we really all should, it should be everyone's responsibility, because perhaps that's an unfair question to say who should be raising awareness. It should be everyone's business to exercise some vigilance, to partake. If you are in cybersecurity or in some kind of space, of social justice and this kind of work, some kind of social work, if we could use that as an umbrella term. Let's educate young people about the risks and strengthen efforts around being able to, because if we don't create awareness and we don't talk about it amongst our families, we're never going to be able to dismantle these trafficking networks, because they are a beast. And I'm not using that word lightly. They are everywhere, and they're just getting bigger and bigger and more evil and more wretched and more, repulsive. Because if you think about the things that, some of the stuff is really unthinkable of what happens to young girls as soon as they leave their country of residence. So I think we should bump up on raising awareness.
And look, I'll also add that we're not saying that these influencers were working with the syndicates. It's possible that they themselves didn't know. Maybe they thought, this is a great opportunity. We're about to give people jobs overseas, and they want me to tell the story because I'm a familiar face. But the reality is, when we are hearing such reports, we need to verify, even as content creators, as influencers, we need to make sure who we are partnering up with for the sake of those who are following our work. That's what caught our eye. Let us know on our social media platform what caught your eye at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok, or send us a WhatsApp +27 63 406 9126. Less than 2 minutes to go until we get the latest news with Jolani Tulongwepe.
Channel Africa, your voice, your sound, and your home. Stay logged right here. They talk about what Africans say about Africa.
It's a minute to go, and then it's 3 p.m. Central African time. We've now hit the final hour of the Upside on this Monday afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for lending us your ear on this payday Friday for a lot of people on the 25th of August. My goodness, the year has gone by. What are you going to do with your salary today? Are you paying bills, or are you taking yourself out? What would you do?
In an ideal world. Who sings that song again? In an ideal world. In an ideal world.
Old song. Wow.
It would be great to pay me first.
Yeah, but you should.
But listen, the creditors are waiting to stick their little fingers into my account. So let's let them do their thing. And then we can reward ourselves afterwards. Okay, it's 3 p.m. We are in the grand finale of the Monday edition of The Upside. Please stay with us just after the news bulletin with Joelane Tulongwebe. We have something wonderful for you. It's news time.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Caught and 15 killed in Israeli airstrikes on Gaza's Nasser hospital. Good afternoon. Human rights lawyers and activists have launched a court challenge against the government of Eswatini for making a secretive deal with President Donald Trump's administration to accept third country deportees from the U.S., which they claim was unconstitutional. The case was due to be heard at the High Court of Eswatini on Friday, but was postponed until September 25th because the government reportedly did not file response papers. In July, the U.S. deported 5 individuals from Vietnam, Jamaica, Laos, Cuba and Yemen to the southern African country. All were convicted felons, and Eswatini says it is holding them in solitary confinement until they can be repatriated. Editor of Swaziland News, Zweli Martin Dlamini, says the human rights lawyers may have a strong case.
There is a prospect of success in this case if you look at it in the legal aspects, considering the fact that this agreement was signed secretly. Even cabinet was not involved. In fact, it was the Prime Minister of Eswatini who was collaborating or corresponding with the United States in signing this agreement. So there is a prospect of success. But as you understand, in Eswatini is an absolute monarchy. If the state or if the monarchy has an interest in this matter, we might maybe witness some other delays that seek to undermine the legal process.
Paramilitaries in Sudan's Darfur region have been accused of killing more than a dozen civilians as they try to flee the besieged city of Al-Fasher. The Sudan Doctors Network accused fighters from the Rapid Support Forces of continuing a campaign of forced displacement and ethnic cleansing. The BBC's Kaliki Dali Beltal reports.
A statement by Sudan's Doctors Network says among those killed by fighters from the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces were 5 children. The incident took place on the road between the besieged city of El Fasher and Tawila. The RSF has repeatedly been accused of targeting non-Arab communities in Darfur, an allegation it dismisses. Fighting between the RSF and the Sudanese army has continued to intensify in parts of Sudan.
Rwanda has rejected accusations that M23 rebels massacred hundreds of people in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo in July, saying there was no credible evidence to support the claims. Reuters news agency first reported on the killings of farmers in Rutsuru territory by M23 rebels, citing findings by the UN Joint Human Rights Office. Additional details about the massacre were reported by the US-based group Human Rights Watch and the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. In its report, Human Rights Watch said it documented at least 140 deaths, but that the number of victims may exceed 300. Rwanda has long denied helping M23 and says its forces act in self-defense. There's still no trace of one person who went missing after an overcrowded rubber boat overturned in central Mediterranean Sea at the weekend. 3 young sisters aged 9, 11 and 17 drowned in the incident after waves of up to 1.5 meters repeatedly washed over a vessel. About 65 people were rescued, including the sister's mother and brother, as well as 3 pregnant women and a 7-month-old baby. The rubber boat left from Libya's Zuwara city and started taking on increasing amounts of water a few hours later. Libya is a major launching pad for migrants who make the treacherous journey across the Mediterranean, hoping to reach the Italian island of Lampedusa. Many of the survivors have suffered severe chemical burns caused by the mixture of seawater and petrol inside the boat and required medical treatment. And finally, 15 people have been killed, including 4 journalists, in Israeli airstrikes on Gaza's Nasser hospital. More than 240 Palestinian journalists have been killed by Israeli forces in Gaza since the war began on the 7th of October 2023. The Israeli military and Prime Minister's office had no immediate comment regarding the strikes. Witnesses said the second strike took place after rescue workers, journalists and other people had rushed to the site of the initial attack. Recapping the top story this hour, human rights lawyers and activists have launched a court challenge against the government of Eswatini for making a secretive deal with President Donald Trump's administration to accept third country deportees from the US, which they claim was unconstitutional. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Cholani Tulo Webe.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
It is 6 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to the final hour of The Upside on Channel Africa, The African Perspective, with Tebogo, Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. Catch us on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. Let us know where you're streaming us from this afternoon. Happy payday, by the way, if you're getting paid today. +27 63 406 9126 is the WhatsApp line. We are live on social media at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. If you have DSTV, it's channel 802, OpenView channel 628, or you can simply download the SABC Plus app on your Android or your iOS device so you can take us with you wherever you go. And as always, www.channelafrica.co.za. I understand that in this hour we get to speak to someone who is ahead of the table, ahead of the game, someone who, first of all, not just someone, I love entrepreneurs personally. Anyone who's doing something entrepreneurial related, I know that journey can be such a lonely one, such a challenging one, met with so many obstacles and gets very lonely at the top. But we get to talk to someone today who has gone beyond all of that and set themselves apart, and that's exciting.
What's also exciting about this story for me is that it's an African person who's tapping into a piece of the social media pie, if I could put it that way. You know, I've been waiting for somebody from the continent who can just give us a platform of our own, where we don't have to worry. We have all these concerns about feeling left out and whatnot. So is it PAC? Is it?
I would
Is that
say
how it's
PAQ.
pronounced?
PAAQ.
Yeah.
I think
PAQ.
PAQ.
Hey? PAQ. Yeah. So PAQ is a new social media and mobile platform that is designed, as we understand it, to change how people seek knowledge. So already, like 10 points already for PAQ, because it's not a social media space for the sake of social media. And not that there's anything wrong with what we're seeing currently. I think every platform serves its purpose. But if there's one that's designed for people that actually want some knowledge and perhaps to use it in good places and spaces, then this is the one for you.
This is the one, because on this platform you will be able to get real-time expert advice on the go app, which is the PAQ app, and we'll be getting into conversation with the founder Olusegun Adeleke to tell us a bit more about PAQ and how it's going to change how we receive and interpret information on the African continent, with so much misinformation out there.
Yes.
They are saying, no, don't worry about that on our platform. It's 10 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. That conversation is coming up next.
África. Conhece o Ntivani? Claro que sou eu. Ntivani é o amante da música de corpo e alma. Eu amo música africana. Ele aprecia todos os tipos de melodias e passa os seus dias a ouvir a Channel África. Adivinha só, a Channel África quer ajudar o Ntivani e os amantes da música em todo o lado a descobrir ainda mais música incrível. Por isso, a Channel África está a convocar artistas africanos a submeterem as suas músicas. Músicos, lembrem-se de nos dar todas as informações relevantes no music@channelafrica.co.za. As submissões são a vossa oportunidade de ser ouvidos, mas não garantem inclusão na lista. Todas as submissões serão cuidadosamente analisadas para verificar se cumprem os requisitos da nossa estação. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
Whatever you want to hear about today's talk, you can get it on the upside.
Ukihitaji rafiki unipigie, na nitafika hata kama simu hujaikata. Akifuani mwangu nitakuliwaza, na nitakesha nikikulinda ukilala. Najua wewe unataka kile inataka, najua unapenda, nampenda yule, na tena mimi sina wivu, ila naomba je sikujelewa, je sikuje kuelewa thamani yako.
But I'm one call away. Ukinihitaji mpenzi, nipigie simu yangu. One call away. Ukinihitaji mpenzi, shujaa yako. One call away. Call me if you need me. Call me. One call away. Call me if you need me. Call me. Mapenzi hafai kuumiza, sasa nini unampendea? Mapenzi hafai kuuliza, kutu umeshinda ukiang'ang'ania, wakati na kukosi furaha yako. Oh no. Najua moyo unataka kile inataka, nelewa mpenda, unampenda yule, na tena mimi sina wivu, ila naomba ije sikujelewa, ije sikuje kuelewa thamani yako. One call away. Ukinihitaji mpenzi, pigie simu yangu, one call away. Ukinitaji mpenzi, shujaa yako, one call away. Call me if you need me, call me. One call away.
Otile Brown and Ruby. Song is called One Call. We are one call away. If you'd like to say hi to us, let us know where you're streaming us from. Our WhatsApp line is +27 63 406 9126. All right, we're getting ready now to have a conversation with the founder of PAQ. We're going to call it PAQ, P-A-A-Q, right? Apparently, this is now a go-to solution when generic answers won't do. In a world where there's so much misinformation, PAQ provides you with real-life answers to the questions that you have from reliable sources. And it is proudly African. That's very exciting, because how many times have you gone on social media and tried to find an answer to a question only to be met with misinformation, unreliable sources? How horrible is that?
Happens more often than it should. You know, like misinformation is just everywhere. It is so difficult to trust. And you know, as we were talking about the for what caught your eye, just the issue around, you know, human trafficking and these horrible, you know, syndicates that are taking young girls and taking them to God knows where. There could be some really beautiful opportunities. You know, I've had family members, young girls, who have gone to Russia to do some actual studying. Okay. And they were taken care of. They went through their 3 years of studying in Russia, got placed into jobs and all of that. So for me, it becomes a problem, you know, when we are met with misinformation and scams and all sorts of things, because then you just get to miss the real stuff. The real stuff is out there, but it's going to get muddled in all the, almost use the word I shouldn't be using on radio, but in all the muck. The muck of the world. All the brown stuff.
I tell you what, though, my concern is when we now know that this is a reliable platform for credible information, who's to say that the imposters won't come through to use that platform now to share whatever versions of the truth they want to share? Anyway, we live in a world where misinformation can spread faster than facts, and it's often hard to know which sources we can trust. That's where, we hope you're saying it properly, PAQ comes in, P-A-A-Q, a new social media and mobile platform designed to change how we seek and share knowledge. Instead of scrolling endlessly through unreliable posts, on the app, PAQ connects users directly with verified experts through live video calls, giving people instant and personalized answers. To tell us a bit more about this platform, we are joined by Olusegun Adeleke, the mind behind PAQ. Olusegun, thank you so much for your time and welcome to The Upside.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. And I'm happy to be on The Upside.
I am loving the voice.
Doesn't he sound like he's got knowledge?
Oh,
I love it.
Let's start off with the name, because we've been saying PAQ the whole time. Please give us the actual name. It's P-A-A-Q. Do we pronounce it as is, or is there a specific way of saying it?
No, you're apt. You're very much on point. It's PAQ, which stands for Please Ask Any Question.
Come on now.
Come on with it. Okay.
I love that. Let's start off then with the inception point of PAQ. What problem were you solving? I mean, we touched on a few of them, misinformation, but it must have been such a big deal for you to have conceptualized and come up with an app like PAQ.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for the question. And once again, thank you so much for having me. So, the problem PAC is solving is a global problem. We've all been in those shoes of having to send an important email, right? Trying and hoping to get a response back.
Yeah.
You've tried to obviously contact someone with the hope that, oh, well, they should reply back.
Yes.
You keep on sending a bunch of follow-up messages, but you don't get a response. And here's the thing. They're not liable to answer you. They owe you nothing. You're not the one paying their bills, right? Now, how do we now still be able to get value or tap from people's knowledge, tap from each other's time when we have nothing, or maybe we probably have something to give back in return? See, this is the problem PAC is solving. If you value someone's time or someone's knowledge, all you need to do is book the person, have a video call on the app, pay for their time, and that's it. So you could use PAC for mentorship. You could use PAC for consultation. You could use your PAC app. Just you as an influencer, your fans can as well use that to have a video call with you. And an event speaker can use PAC to connect with the event attendees. So instead of, hey, can I buy your coffee? Or can I please have your business card? No, it's fine. Just PAC me, right? We live in a world. Sorry, can I go ahead?
Oh, please. Listen, you are just giving us, you're giving us what we need, sir. We love it. But let's take a quick break. I'm going to have to just cut you short a little bit, but please hold the thought, because we're going to return. We really want to find out a little bit more. We're going to pick up where you left off, but we also want to find out more about issues around the platform's verification process. How do we know that people are credible? We're going to get into that in just a moment. We'll be right back.
The KwaZulu-Natal Convention Bureau, in collaboration with Millvest Advisory and the city of Mshattuze, bring you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum Africa. As a global platform for local action, the Tourism Investment Africa aims to promote the secondary and tertiary cities and regions as attractive investment and tourism hubs. Be part of the movement transforming tourism in Africa. Join us for the TIFA 2025 from August 27 to 29 at Tembela Venue, Richards Bay, KZN, South Africa. If it's news and current affairs, leading opinions, and thought leaders that get your groove, this is your home, The Upside.
This is your home indeed. Welcome back. We are in conversation with Olusegun and Olusegun Adeleke. He is the mind behind PAC, which is a new social media and mobile platform that is designed to really connect you, to connect people, but in a meaningful way, in a way that is about knowledge sharing and experience. And to me, how Olu actually kind of unpacks PAC is it's coffee fee online. So a marketing friend of mine taught me the concept, Olu, of a coffee fee. Says you need to ask people that you want to be in conversation with, about mentorship. What is your coffee fee? Because they're going to. So basically, it's an exchange of their time for a bit of money for an hour or 2 hours or whatever the case is, and you just pay them for that time. So that's essentially what I'm getting around this platform. But just to pick up where you left off before we talk about verification and credibility.
Oh, yeah, sure. So to furthermore, right, we take security very, very, very important. That is too important in the list of the task or the to-do list, just to ensure that the platform operates as intended. Now, how do you know that you're talking to the real Beyonce from the fake Beyonce? On Instagram, that's quite hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah.
On LinkedIn, it can be very hard as well. On every other platform, it can be very hard. See, with PAC, we basically verify your profile picture with the person in the introduction video that you recorded within the app. So we match both two together, the person in the picture and the person in the video. If it checks out well that this person is indeed the right person, you are automatically verified. If it's not the right person, you are not verified. So, which means that this introduction video, you might probably be thinking, but people might still be able to bypass this. Well, this is how it works. With the introduction video, you have to record it within the app. You are not allowed to import it from your phone gallery, right? So there's no way AI can even break this through, at least for now, because we do take the security thing extremely, extremely serious. I can go on and on. The time that we all spend is the time that we spend is the main currency in this world. And you said something earlier, what's your coffee fee? Which is indeed what it's another way of saying how much would you charge for me to engage with you?
Yeah.
And a whole lot of people find it very hard to talk about money. They don't want to, they feel like, well, I have this knowledge, but how can I tell you to pay me for it? And that's the problem. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You went to school, you climbed the ladder of sources, right? You gained all this knowledge, not because you had it all free. You probably had to pay for school fees or whatever, right? You have all this amount of knowledge, but you only have limited time. You only have 24 hours in a day. And here are people wanting to tap from your knowledge in this same 24 hours in a day of yours. See, it's so easy. You can still leverage from the knowledge that you already have by telling people, just pack me. Hey, can I pick your brain on this? Pack me. For mentorship, pack me. All right. And it can go on and on. So it's all about pack me.
These experts that you have on the platform, Olu, do they get to set their own rates or do you prescribe those rates on the platform?
That's a very good question. So they get to set their own rates. I think it would be very interesting when someone that has an X amount of knowledge decides to say they want to charge $1 million or whatever. See, the guardrails for people not to make a joke of the platform has been introduced all around the platform, all around the Pack app. So basically, you know your rates, you know how much you're worth, right? Set your price within that rate. Anyone in South Africa that is trying to book you will see the rates that you charge in rents, just exactly how Airbnb operates. All right. So, yeah.
Okay. Very interesting concept. I'm also now just interested now because I mean, experts can be found in every field and every fraternity. Olu, so talk to us about the type of experts or expertise and fields that are currently available on PAC as we speak.
Oh, good. So far, we've just rolled out in South Africa and the United States, and we've come to understand that people in the legal field, like lawyers, and there are different types of lawyers. We can all attest to that. There are divorce lawyers, mortgage ones, and a whole bunch of type of lawyers out there. So we've noticed that people within the tax sector are starting to get into the app. All right. And we're actually in tax season, so which is super interesting. And pretty much hack in general can be used by anyone. You can actually be an expert in numbers as an accountant or whatnot, but that doesn't make you an expert when it comes to a radio host, right? Or even being a radio, or what's it called? A radio producer, right? See, you are an expert in XYZ. There's a guarantee that you need the other guy. So hack is for you, hack is for me. So far, we're starting to realize that some influencers are starting to show interest as well. But you know how things are. When it comes to this app domain, people are always security conscious, and hence I'm on your beautiful show.
Oh, love that. I see there's a PAC event that's come out now as well. Tell us a bit more about this and how it's going to help people experience conferences and summits in a better way.
Well, that's an amazing one. So we all go to events, and then when it comes to the Q&A session, we realized that, oh, well, you have to stand up to ask questions. They have to
Yeah.
pass the mic around.
Yeah.
Sometimes the mic doesn't even work. See, that's the problem PAC is trying to break, right? So PAC Event is an AI-powered event Q&A session platform. So instead of passing the mic around, or instead of having to stand up and then scream your lungs out, and instead of actually making introverts even feel more introverted, well, all they need to do is just scan the event QR code, drop your questions. You can even direct your questions to the relevant event speaker, right? And the moderator gets to approve this question, and then it shows on the attendee portal. So all the event attendees will be able to see all the questions that was approved by the moderator. So it's all AI powered. And the beautiful thing about it is that event attendees can be able to connect with another event attendees. What do I mean? You know, you go to events and then they always say this thing like, you know, you don't know the person sitting right next to you. Just ask someone, get to know them, take their business card and all that. But here's the thing. It's not possible for you to get to know all the event attendees at the place. At least you know the speakers. Maybe that was why you even bought the tickets. But here's the thing. How do you get to have all these contacts? How do you get to know that you've been an accountant? There's just another CPA. There's few rows away from you. That is what PAC Event is solving. It brings the event speakers closer to the event attendees. It brings the attendees closer to other attendees. And should you guys actually want to continue further and engaging with one another, you can as well just use the PAC app to continue the conversation from there.
Olu, this has been such a valuable conversation. Thank you so much for bringing this app to life. We'll check it out and we'll download it on our respective platforms. But thank you so much for your time and for connecting us to real sources of information. The voice of Olusegun Adeleke, the mind behind PAC, PAAQ. Check them out on your Android or your iOS app stores and download it. It's 30 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest in sports with Fikile Lingwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
We start off with the aquatics in a groundbreaking achievement for Nigerian swimming. Abdul Jalaba Adama has clinched a silver medal at the World Junior Swimming Championships held in Romania. This remarkable feat marks the first time a Nigerian swimmer has achieved such a prestigious accolade in the sport's history. Adama set a new benchmark in the men's 50-meter butterfly, finishing with an impressive time of 23.64 seconds, a record that underscores Nigeria's potential on the global swimming stage. The Nigerian team, which undertook a 2-week training camp in London prior to their departure for Romania, garnered praise for their dedication and preparation. The president of the Nigeria Aquatic Federation, Chief Daphne Aliyu, commended Adama's achievement, describing it as a historic breakthrough that will inspire future generations of Nigerian swimmers to dream bigger and aim higher. The Federation of International Football Associations, FIFA delivery manager Kineilwe Matibela, who oversees 54 African countries under the governance of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, says she never saw the opportunity coming.
I did not see it coming, to be honest with you. I think I was becoming comfortable where I was at with SAFA, especially with the change that I had seen since I stepped into the office, because I think when they looked at the stats, literally there was over 60% change and development in the number of courses that we had hosted. So I was still looking forward to bringing more changes. So when the opportunity came about, I also thought to myself, because I'm a person that likes to be challenged as well, I thought, why not? Get to see the whole of Africa, get to learn different languages.
Also known by her football nickname Maestro, illustrates on the coaching courses facilitated by FIFA and CAF.
Another one was the training of the coach educators to make sure that we keep in line with what is happening internationally, because I can tell you now that we have shifted so much over the years, or actually over the last year, because we got more training from FIFA where there's understanding to say that as a facilitator, you're not instructing to people where you tell them this is how you do it, this is my way or the highway, but we're more facilitating a place where we allow them to learn from each other, which is peer-to-peer learning, and also just to make sure that we do not undermine the experience that the coaches in the classroom already has. So it's just to trigger and provoke and support them to say, let's do it so that you also learn.
On to cricket news. Former Proteas women's captain Dane van Niekerk has come out of international retirement after 2 years. Van Niekerk left the green and gold in 2023 after being omitted from the squad for the T20 World Cup here at home, having failed a 2-kilometer time trial. In a statement, the 32-year-old apologized for the way in which she turned her back on the national team and said the time away reminded her just how much she missed representing her country. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figure Lungwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalamu, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800 428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
15:35 on the digital clock. On the upside, let's check in with economics news. Thabiso Lehoko has the latest.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thanks to Mmatsheko, and good afternoon. There is a strong call for Africa to leverage its mineral wealth for economic growth. This has emerged at the 2-day Africa Critical Minerals Summit underway in Johannesburg, South Africa. The event brings together key stakeholders from across the continent, focused on minerals diplomacy and the urgent need to ramp up the beneficiation of Africa's minerals. A central theme was the need for Africa to move beyond simply extracting and exporting raw materials. President of the Junior Mining Council, Fred Arendse.
Here we need to thank Donald Trump, the President of America, that has actually put a lot of pressure on Africa. And that actually actioned everybody into high mode to see how best do we collaborate as a continent.
The airports company South Africa, AXA, has more than doubled its profit after tax from $27 million to $63 million in the 2024-2025 financial year. The financial performance will boost investor confidence and show the state-owned company is firmly out of the COVID-19 slump. AXA Chief Executive Officer Mpumi Mpofu released the annual financial results in Kempton Park, Lekhuleni.
We are just short in South Africa at 92% of meeting the 2019 figures.
South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has asserted that the country's national interest will forever remain independent, reflecting the country's constitutional values and national priorities. He was writing in his newsletter to the nation today after attending the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development in Japan. Ramaphosa says at a time when the country faces potentially high tariffs imposed by the US, participating in such forums is part of measures to reduce dependence on historical markets, secure market access and attract investment. He says South Africa will continue to engage with partners in both the global north and south. Retired Interpol ambassador Andy Mashile has cautioned that human trafficking syndicates are using people's desperation for jobs to lure them to all sorts of illegal activities. Mashile said this following South Africa's Department of International Relations and Cooperation warning young women not to fall for unverified foreign job offers. It comes as social media influencers advertised suspicious employment opportunities on social platforms including TikTok and Instagram, targeting women between the ages of 18 and 22.
The Human Science Research Council reported that in 2023, only 250,000 South Africans were trafficked and 155,000 South Africans are living in modern-day slavery.
The US dollar has nudged higher but struggled to recover from a steep fall spurred by a dovish pivot from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell that opened the door for a rate cut in the world's largest economy next month. The euro was down 0.1% at $1.1701, but remained in a touching distance of Friday's high of $1.174225, a level not seen since the 28th of July. Sterling and the Swiss franc were both down 0.1% as well. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,533 naira. In Botswana, it's at 13.33. Kenya, 128 shilling 15. And Zambia, 23 kwacha 10. The BRICS countries in Brazil, the dollar there will cost you 5.42. Russia, 80 rubles 36. India, 87 rupees 34. China, 7 yuan 16. And in South Africa, the dollar will cost you 17 rand 42 cents. $1 is trading at 73 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Commodities markets. Gold is trading at $3,363 and platinum $1,351 per ounce. Brent crude oil is at $67.95 a barrel. For any business stories you would like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg, I'm Tabisolo Hoko.
Business News on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Annie Kalonji sur Channel Africa.
Nous allons à présent dérouler notre tapis rouge pour accueillir notre personnalité du jour, l'artiste chanteur Sheki Frey, qui est en ligne de Guinée avec nous.
Je suis un artiste guinéen, un créateur, un styliste, et je fais un peu ce qui plaît à mes fans. Voilà, c'est un peu ça. On a beaucoup de genres de trucs à faire, mais bon, pour le moment, on est basé un peu sur le rap.
D'accord. À quelle période de votre vie avez-vous commencé à vous intéresser à la musique, Sheki?
Bon, je crois pas qu'il y ait une période, hein, parce que moi, je suis un mélomane depuis mon petit âge.
Annie Kalonji, tous les dimanches sur Mix Vibration.
This is The Upside for the best African vibes, groundbreaking content.
Make I show you my bank account. Two-Face, I get it plenty to go around. So girl, make you dance when you hear this sound. Now we the poppy all over town. So tell me if you dey down, dey down. Do you know? Say oh, me tick girl I know. Sometimes things that you do not know. Whether na traffic I be go slow. Baby, I promise I go still show. Spending money, Pablo. I suppose relocate, but I go buy Belgium. My money na alele, I apply pressure. But it's like a Shiva Balaba, put on for high tension. You must apply your tea, big boy, you must apply plenty. Mismanage my funds on you, all I really wanna do is mismanage my funds. Mismanage my funds on you, all I wanna do is mismanage my funds.
Alright, okay, them bro got off for the voltage. Tilapia, kote, bring a goofy with the cocaine. Gobe, you see the bed, do not replay. Find a bacha for my bros. Conquer the streets with the play.
I need your billing up party, all got to come. If I handle this your body, all got so close, all got so close. If you put me for palava, Njepolo if I got what can they make? What be fair, ego they pay. Complain, it was easy, my baby, come down.
I suppose relocate, but I go buy Belgium. My money na alele, I apply pressure. But it's like Shiva Balaba, put on for high tension. You must apply your tea, because you must apply plenty. Mismanage my funds on you, all I really wanna do is mismanage my funds. Mismanage my funds on you, all I wanna do is mismanage my funds on you, all I really wanna do. I will mismanage my funds. You will wanna stop me. Mismanage my funds on you. I know my problems.
We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet, Channel 628.
Unatege si matege yop, unatege minga matege nyum, unatege majang matege ndom, manetambia ninya ne njubyayen, ngani bana matege mot, ngani lakiri watege ndong, esakina bia dinkido, manetambia ninya ne njubyayen, tamtama mote tamzabike. Tam tama tonge tam zabike tam tam tama mote tam zabike mane tambia ninyane njubyayan onotege si matege yo onotege minga matege nyum onotege majang matege ndom mane tambia ninyane njubyayan ngani bana matege mot ngani lakiri watege ndong esakina bia dinkido mane tambia ninyane njubyayan tam tama mote tam zabike tam tama tonge tam zabike tam tam tama mote tam zabike mane tambia ninyane njubyayan tam tam hiyo amone majone ngani muri soli matalan change ayo amajang majande imoro zinyanga sobala atingae dei manamot abolga maneya matei manajonga lusu matizae dei manamot akar manaza matei manasose masoma vale unatere si matere yo unatere minga matere nyum unatere majang matere ndom mane tambia ninyane njubyayen ngani bana matere mon ngani lakiri watege ndong esakina bia dinkido mane tambia ninyane njubyayen tam tama mote tam zabike tam tama tonge tam zabike tam tam tama mote tam zabike mane tambia ninyane njubyayen onotege si matege yo onotege minga matege nyum onotege majang matege ndom mane tambia ninyane njubyayen ngani bana matege mon ngani lakiri wat materendong esetina ya tinkido manetambia ninyane njobia yen tamtama mote tamzabike tamtama tonge tamzabike tamtama mote tamzabike manetambia ninyane njobia yen tamtam hiyo amone majone zani morisoli matelanchenge ayo amone majenge morozinyanga sobana atimae kay manamot abonge maneya matay manachonga lusu matuzae kay manamot akar manaza kay manasensi masoma bani unatege si matege yo unatege minga matege yo unatege majang matege ndom manitambia ninyane njobia yen ngani bana matege mot ngani lakiri watege ndom esetina.
Trips all the way to Cameroon with Selignolo. The name of that song is Tam Tam. Tam Tam.
You said it right, actually.
Did I?
Oh, you perfection. Parfait.
What does Tam Tam mean? Do you know?
I don't know actually what that means.
Well, it's French, right? We'll ask our French correspondents on Channel Africa. What Tam Tam?
I think it's one of the local Cameroonian languages.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So not French.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. And then we had Davido with Funds featuring Odumodu Black and Chike. It's now 10 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African time. When we get back, it's Vento Clock.
Africa in Business on Channel Africa.
The United States was very vocal at the beginning of South Africa's G20 presidency, and this is largely due to strained relations with South Africa at the time, that they were not really keen on participating. Where do they stand right now?
The US is planning to take over the presidency of the G20 next year, and our understanding from them is that they intend to continue to do so, and therefore it is quite difficult then to be in a situation where you are not attending deputies' meetings or discussions during our presidency and then to take over the presidency next year. From a finance track perspective, there has been engagement. We've been working on a communique last week and this week here in Zimbabwe. What's important about that is that it's a consensus document. And so all the members in the room have to agree to the language that is used there. And our US colleagues have been part of those discussions and negotiations.
Bringing the African markets into your home. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The Upside. On the Upside, your voice matters.
Well, it's 9 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African time, and we're going to allow you at home listening in on the conversation to send us a WhatsApp of what is plaguing your mind this afternoon. We're calling it Vento Clock. What is plaguing your mind? What do you want to release into the universe so you can live a lighter life? It is it's an opportunity for you to express yourself. A judgment-free zone, whatever it is, whether it's political, personal, economic. Hey, what is your vent for today? Do you have something to vent about?
I kind of do, but I like that Vento Clock has a catchphrase now. So that you can live a Vento Clock, so that you can live a lighter life. I love it for us.
That's the one.
I love it for us. Do I have something to vent about? I think this one would definitely fall in the category of, like a generalized vent.
Okay.
Like a lot of people probably share the same sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually seen a couple of people kind of, Vento clocking on their on their social media platforms, just about the endless meetings, meeting that could have been a very quick voice note. Just what's his name? Olu says, just pack me. I say, just send me an SMS or just VN me, okay? And we can call it a day. There really is no need to drag on and talk about a whole lot of nothing for 2 hours, where you could just pop me a voice note, have your say, and then everybody parts ways, and we can have peace, love, and happiness. absolutely zero. Somebody was making a joke, somebody who's also in broadcasting. I think he's just absolutely sick and tired of the meetings that have absolutely no end goal. And I'm guessing that the person that was running this meeting has no idea what they are doing. And he was saying, when I become president, I'm going to put a stop to these unnecessary meetings nationally. It will be a national call. We're going to send people SMSs from now on. Okay, we're going to send them WhatsApp messages, and we're going to stop with the endless meetings that have absolutely zero end goal, where people walk away from the meeting and they're like, huh? Stop it.
So you are basically saying just send us an SMS or an email.
Send an SMS, no, and call it a day.
All right. There's no need for us to be there physically.
No.
Because, my goodness me, some of them really could do with just an email. And it's also like, just value people's time. Don't call people in for something that you can send an SMS for or an email. Just a properly worded email. We'll read it. We'll get through it. But don't waste our time. Bringing us to, because we have to drive, we have to stay away from the work to give ourselves full attention, give our full attention to this meeting for an hour, 2 hours, only for us to conclude that actually this could have just been an email.
It's really a problem.
Value our time. All right. And it's a general vent, but I think it's one that a lot of people can relate to. My vent.
Tell us.
I don't know, man. I don't know. When last did you check the price of a burger? When last did you buy a burger?
Okay. Actually, somebody wonderful, somebody who loves me very much, wanted to buy me lunch or bought me lunch several days ago.
Okay.
And I had ordered a burger, which they clearly didn't have.
Yeah.
They clearly didn't have the plants to make the burger or something, because we tried several branches of the same restaurant and they don't have this burger. And how much was that burger? It was like 80 something.
80
something rand, if memory serves me correctly. Let me Google it. Let me Google the price.
Tell me why or when did a burger start going to close to 200 rand, if not 200 rand plus for a burger?
Well, that's reasonable.
When did we get there? No, it's reasonable.
Well, I'm being sarcastic.
200 rand for a burger.
That is something.
I was on one of the platforms. Shall I name them? Shall I name and shame them?
I think you can. Yeah. Yes.
Burger King. I was on Burger King's website. I was not on the website. I was on Uber Eats. I was trying to get a burger. One of those bacon and what burgers. Tell me why that burger alone cost over 140, 150 rand. Just the burger alone. For the meal, you had to pay over 200 rand. I'm like,
that's
when
ridiculous.
Did a McFeast or a Big Mac? Let's go to a Big Mac. Currently, if you buy it off the app, that's the Uber Eats app. You'll pay close to just about 70 rand, somewhere 70, 80 rand for a Big Mac. 70 rand. This used to be 20 rand. This
it
burger.
Used to be 19. You actually got change from
right?
$20.
It's like 70 rand something now. And if you want a large meal, the price of a large Big Mac meal, all right, I'll complain. Let me complain about this separately. It will now be about 130 something, almost 140 rand for a large Big Mac meal. The reason why I wanted to complain was there's nothing large about the burger. The burger stays consistent. It's large chips,
teeny tiny,
large cold drink. I don't need that. If you want to make it large, make the burger large too. Then I'll be like, okay, fine.
Then you get your money's worth.
I'll pay that. I don't mind. But no, man, the prices of burgers now in this economy, paying almost 200, if not plus 200 for a burger is absolutely ridiculous. It's unacceptable. As the Upsiders, we're coming together and we're going to launch a petition and say if your burger costs more than 150 rand, you are no longer a restaurant or a fast food outlet. From now on, you should be listed at JSC because you sell gold now. There's no way a burger should be over 150 rand. And if you agree with me, say amen and send us a WhatsApp +2763406. 126. The price of burgers absolutely getting out of control. Well, that's my vent for Vent O'Clock this afternoon.
I share that vent. I think it's ridiculous. So my burger, I've just Googled the price, the burger that I was supposed to have last week that's made from plants. Would you imagine how expensive it is? 106 Rand for just the burger. Okay, this place doesn't have fries because it's a health shop. And if you want to buy it and have some avocado in it, it's 119 Rand. That is ridiculous. That is preposterous.
I have a
question. So much money for a burger.
I have a question.
Yes, business lady. Tell us. Tell me you agree with me.
Can you bring your own avos? Is it if I bring if I bring my own avo, if I bring my own avos and maybe I'll bring my own sesame bun as well?
Oh no, that defeats the purpose. Just make the burger at home.
But you see, there's that added experience. Sometimes you go out because of the experience. Sure, you can do it at home, but I don't know if that price tag. I don't know if that price tag is worth it though.
But I like that idea. Have an avocado that cost you only $10 in your handbag and just add it to the burger.
Oh, you mean
saved yourself $20?
Oh, you add it to the burger after
you've purchased the burger.
So they'll just see you going into your bag.
Pulling out a whole avocado.
Very shady.
Look, let us know how much a burger costs in your city, whether you're in Lagos, in Nairobi, in Johannesburg, in Accra, in Casablanca. Let us know how much does a burger cost in your part of the universe.
And what is the most expensive burger that you've ever heard of? And what is it? Because I've heard of some ridiculously priced burgers, which I obviously would not buy. But
yeah, some of them have gold flakes and that sort of thing.
Well, talking about gold flakes, burgers and all that, here's what we've got in store for you.
We're done with Burgernomics.
We're done with Burgernomics, right? Let's go to economics now. Checkers. They, have been on innovation streak and they're not stopping. They're putting together and launching what's called Express Trolley. Now, with this Express Trolley, as you go through the shopping mall, you can literally scan what you want to buy. It will tell you what the price is, and somehow it adds those items into the bags while giving you a running total. So what this means, literally, is your tiller is no longer going to be there because you don't need somebody to tally everything up for you. You don't have to do it yourself. You scan it and it puts it in the bag for you. Great for lazy shoppers, but not good news for the workers because you know what impact that's going to have. We'll be talking this afternoon to the South African Commercial Catering and Allied Workers Union. I'm sure you bet that I was going to be talking to the union about this. That's just one of the conversations coming up on Africa in Business this Monday.
Okay, we're looking forward to that. It is 4 p.m. in Central African time. Jolana Chulo has the latest news, and then Tami Ngubeni takes over with Africa in Business. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.
Broadcasting in 5 different languages, connecting the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African perspective.